Joined on Golf Central by Jason Kuhn, a former Navy SEAL and Division I baseball player who now helps athletes overcome the yips. In fact, his website is called yipsfree.com, and one player that he's worked with is Lucas Glover. Let's start with your background. How did you get into this business, Jason?
Well, as far as the yips go, I started with teaching myself how to throw again, and the first client that I had on a professional level was Tyler Matzik now he's with the Atlanta Braves. Prior to that, about 9 years ago, almost exactly 9 years ago, I started a company called Stonewall Solutions, and I traveled around the country working in high schools and colleges, and that led to corporate teams and teaching mental performance, the fundamentals of winning, and developed a curriculum. And then from there, that opened the doors to share my story with players that, hey, I struggled with the yips. They'd open up back to me, and I started developing a training method for that specifically, and then launched Yips Free.
The psychological, the physical, the mental, which is the most important component when attacking the yips?
Well, I think they all matter. It is a mechanical interruption that's taking place, but the key is to understand why that mechanical interruption is taking place. It normally takes place due to a lack of awareness. I didn't know that I was doing something different, or I didn't know I should do this instead of that. But the mechanical interruption that's taking place with the yips is due to tension that we're experiencing in a joint, in the hands, fingers, forearms, when we need dexterity to execute that action. But that tension's being initiated by the subconscious, the central nervous system's perception of threat. So when I first experienced the yips, and I guess to answer your first question better is how did I get into it? I had the yips. It ended my baseball career in college. I threw more wild pitches than anyone else in an inning back in 2001, and I'm still that guy. So it bothered me, and I wanted to figure this out. It's bothered me my whole life, and so I learned a lot of things in the SEAL teams about human performance, and there's a very similar thing that takes place when we shoot a gun, where we flinch. And I started learning how to iron that out, and I thought, man, that is exactly what's happening when I was throwing a baseball. So I thought, I wonder if I could take some of those same methods, build upon them, and build out a program that retrains the subconscious and central nervous system to trust free dexterity again and get that fluidity back into our stroke. But we have to define the problem correctly first in order to create an effective solution, and that's step one, and I think what gets missed very often.
Jason, you said you thrived in pressure situations when you were a relief pitcher in college. Did you actually enjoy the sensation of pressure, or did you enjoy more the opportunity to be uncomfortable, so to speak, under pressure? And is that
probably?
Excuse me. Go ahead.
Right, probably the opportunity. Yeah, probably the opportunity. And that's what's so wild about the yips is because I loved being a guy who came in high leverage situations. I loved closing games. I loved coming in with the bases loaded. It was my role and identity as a player. And so what's wild about the yips is when players first experience it, they often don't feel an elevated level of nerves, fear, or anxiety beyond the norm before we compete. It's like, what in the heck was that? Their arms start to, they have that tension. Their arms get tight. Sometimes they don't even realize it because it's so subtle. And the ball will typically first go off get away from you. And then as you try to extend through that, you can't get that extension and follow through that you want, and the club face hooks around it and you put it back into your feet. Baseball, same way. It sails high in arm side and then you hook around it. So I really enjoyed being that guy, and that's why it was so confusing, because I would get on the mound like I don't feel different. Eventually you do, because you don't know what happened, you don't know why it happened, or if it's going to happen again, or a solution for it if it does. Then those nerves kick in, the tingling sensation, and you start to lose feeling in your extremities as you get an adrenaline hit or something similar to one, and it builds from there. That's where the snowball occurs.
You talked about mental toughness and how that's not really the issue, and you want to put the idea of shame and guilt for not being mentally tough away. But is the issue also perhaps improper sort of mental application? In other words, the toughness might be there, but the student is doing something wrong in terms of how they're thinking.
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to identity, and there's a lot there to unpack. For me, I know that the profession of baseball defined me, meaning I was dependent on being successful in the profession for my sense of self-worth. And what really changed in my implosion, it got pretty dark there for a bit, but I found faith through it. I found a lot of things that I needed to learn about myself. And one of those is that rather than allowing the profession to create my sense of self-worth, allow my intrinsic sense of self-worth to create my success within the profession. So I do think there's preventative measures we can do with players to stop seeing so many cases of it by building a foundation and the fundamentals of winning and curriculum that I teach. But even if it is set in, we've got the ironing it out system, and I want to change the whole narrative of how this is viewed, how it is defined, how it's treated across the board. So we save careers, and teams and sponsors save their investments, and I don't see that there's any reason why we can't do that. I graduated with 20 people out of 135 in my buds class, and I still had the yips with a baseball in my hand. So if I couldn't throw a baseball due to the yips, but was also extremely mentally tough at the same point in life, then the yips cannot be due to a lack of mental toughness.
How did you come to meet Lucas Glover on the PGA Tour, and what kinds of work did you do with him?
Through Mac Barnhart, and I can't thank him enough for bringing me into the team. It's an honor to be a part of the team, and I've just had an absolute blast working with Lucas. It's all him, okay? I've helped give him some tools for his toolkit, but I can't get out there and do what he does. But we have worked ourselves about halfway through the fundamentals of winning, as well as the ironing it out process, and that has been my role in supporting Lucas, and I couldn't be happier for him, and I couldn't be prouder of him, and we'll keep working and see where it goes from here.
Luke, I'm wondering how proud are you of Lucas in terms of what he's done? Has it surprised you how quickly it's happened and the extent to which it's happened?
Lucas had everything that he needed. He had the maturity, the professionalism, and all the skill sets of golf. So once we put the other pieces to the puzzle in there, I think everything came together very well for him. And just as I said, I couldn't be prouder of the hard work, discipline, and application of not just what I've asked him to do, but everyone on his team, from Jason Bale to Lucas on his own, and the solutions he's coming up with, and everything. He's done what he needed to do. He didn't quit, stayed in the fight, and found a way. And I love those kind of stories, because that's what I'm all about. I love challenging the status quo.
And there's a lot of those stories at the website yipsfree.com. Jason, thanks a lot for the time. It was good to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.